and we're going to go straight onto the charts. Again, this week's topic will be focusing on support and resistance. Why? Because this is the core to trading, right? This allows you to understand where the market is going to go. This allows you to understand where you're looking for a breakout, what is currently happening to the market, and so on. This gives you a sense of direction. So this is important, right? This is extremely important. So let me just set up my trading view, and then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Lovely. So let me go ahead now and share my screen. Excellent. Good. So last week, the instruction was that in order to get true support and resistance, you're going to be changing your candles to the line chart, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to start from the last downtrend, right? So I want you to start from a downtrend, right? Given that this was a downtrend, I want you to start from the end of a downtrend where the uptrend actually begins. So you can see that all of this is an uptrend. So I'm still going, still looking here. So here looks good because this was a downtrend before it started to go up. So what I want you guys to do when you're doing your case studies at home, right? Or I should call it your peer studies, right? So when you're doing your peer studies at home, I want you guys to go to the last downtrend on the 1 hour time frame, right? Where the downtrend is actually ending and the uptrend begins. Because you're going to then draw the support and resistance based on the uptrend from the start of the uptrend to the peak of that uptrend. Right? So this is what we're going to do. So follow with me. This is your USD. As you can see, this is a downtrend here. This is where the downtrend ended before it started to make its move in the uptrend. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to change my chart to a line chart. Right? And what we're doing is that we're going to identify true support and resistance. I don't want you to get too into detail with every single touch. I want you to get the ones that are obvious to you, right? So we're going to start here because this is pretty obvious here, right? So we have support here, we have support here. Yes, we're going to come up further because this one is also obvious. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. The market is rejecting here and turning around, right? We're going to come here as well because this is a resistance zone. So you can see resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, and resistance, right? So all we're doing, I don't want you to go into detail of trying to get every single one as you come up, but we're going to focus on the ones that basically is obvious, right? So we're going to come here as well. Why am I going here? Support, 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 resistance, support, right? And then I'm going to come to the top and we're going to take that one as well. This one, I'm going to give it just about 2 lines here and around about here, right? Because that's a zone, right? So now we're going to follow the trade up, right? We follow the uptrend up. So I'm coming here and again, support, 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 resistance, right? So you guys should know that support and resistance lines are stronger when support is equals to resistance. So I don't want you to just identify a support zone. If you can look left or look right in this case and see that, you know, that support was once resistance, then you know that that is an important area in the market, right? You know that that is a reversal zone here as well. So you got resistance, resistance, resistance. All of this was resistance. Over here you have support, support, right? And over here you have support as well. And once you start to practice, this is why it's key for you guys to do homework, right? Once you start to practice, you start to see it better, right? Because in the beginning, when I was watching your position and I was doing support and resistance, I was so confused, right? But as I remained on the chart and I practiced every single day and I made it a habit, right? I made it so much a habit that I go to sleep some nights and I see a chart, right? That's how involved I am, right? And you are not a master trader until you're going to sleep and you are dreaming about that chart that you've drawn up, right? I'm telling you, you're not a master trader until you are seeing that chart you have drawn up in your sleep. Trust me, right? So we have resistance over here, resistance, and then support. Now, if you guys can remember, for those who were here last week, right? Sometimes in this case here, you can see that this line that I would have drawn is far away from this line chart here, where I have a support. Now, so long as you can confirm that it was resistance and it was not support, more than likely, right? Majority of the cases, line charts don't show you wicks. So when you turn to the candlestick pattern, when you go back to candlesticks, actually, you may actually recognize that this that looks as though it's far from that line may be a wick. You may have a wick that area as well, right? So you don't need to be exact. You don't need to say, okay, well, I like this here, but it's so far away from there, let me put it there. No, more than likely, you would have had a wick as long as it's close. And you guys will start to see that once you spend more time on the chart, right? Can you repeat when support and resistance is stronger? Yeah, when support reaches resistance. So when support is resistance, you know that that area is strong. You know that that line is strong. It's important, right? It's stronger, right? So we're again continuing here. So we have resistance, resistance, support, resistance, right? Again, and we're just focusing on what is obvious. So I'm going to come up here, right? You guys could decide if you want to get in here. You can, right? I'm not going to get that detail. Let's continue, right? And you can see now, I would have basically gotten everything there, right? And that took me like, what, 5 minutes? And I do support and resistance or even less on Euro USD, right? No, next step, change it back to candles. And what I want you to do is go back to where you would have started, draw your support and resistance. And I want you to actually go through how the market would have respected every single support and resistance line that you would have drawn. That is key. I need you to be able to train your mind into seeing it, right? So this was the ending of the downtrend. I would have put the support line here. I came here and I placed another support. So you can see how the market was constantly testing and wrapping around this line here. So you can see it here, a lot of wicks in this area, right? Broke out as well, right? And you guys can actually see it came up here, tested here, came back here, and you can see how price was in between this zone in a range. So this is an example of us boxing in price, right? This is an example of us boxing in price, and we were talking about this last week, right? That notice, if you as a beginner, you're not trading candlestick patterns, you're trading breakouts because you don't understand candlestick patterns as yet. So trading breakouts, right, means that when you box in price, you're waiting for a solid body candle to break out of the zone to tell you where the market is going, right? So you may not be as advanced as myself or some of the other traders to know, okay, the market is actually going to turn around, right? As a beginner, if you don't know how to be able to anticipate certain moves, let the market tell you, right? So in this case, everybody should be able to see that this was a breakout candle here, right? Now, if you really draw support and resistance well enough, you can trade in between zones. This is key. I hope you guys are making notes, taking screenshots, right, as I walk you through this, because yes, we have another 6 weeks in this 8-week boot camp, but guess what, right? For the simple person on this call, the person that prefers simplicity can literally decide from this call alone, I have my strategy, right? I am going to just trade breakouts. Simple as that. And I'm trading breakouts from zone to zone. So notice, breakout candle here, you wait for it to close, right? And then from there, I'm going to enter myself because it broke out of this zone here, right? It broke out of this zone, this range, right? And now I'm going to enter myself, and my TP is going to be the next support line. 18 pips in 2 hours, right? So what I am doing is that I am trying to show you guys how you can be simple and still earn from this market. You do not need indicators. Trading does not have to be complicated. That's the truth. And that's the whole idea. That's why I want to tell you guys, trading does not need to be as complicated as you think it is. It's actually a lot simpler, but we allow all the noise around us and so many different things to make us think and believe that trading is more complicated than it actually is. You don't need it. Market execution on the same time frame, you don't even need to drop down a time frame. That is how simple it is. Literally. Let's look at it. Let's continue here. Let's continue here, right? No, if you wanted to, and I'm literally showing you guys this, right? Market broke out of this zone. You came in here. Yes, you would have gone some drawdown, right? If you would have entered your sell here, you got a bit of drawdown. But look what the market did. Came back straight to this zone, tested your zone. TP hit. Had you hold it, I'm just saying, right? The market respects these levels, right? So in a case like this, when you start to learn how to place your stop loss, where to place it in the market and so on. For example, had you enter here on breakout and you said, you know what, just to be safe, I'm going to give the market room. I'm going to place my stop loss at the previous high, right? Just to be safe, right? You don't have to do it, right? Market never came back up to your previous high. All it did was consolidated for a couple of hours, right? Maybe a day or two, but look what it did, right? No. Look at this zone. So we know that it's back within this zone where it was ranging for some time. Yes, breakout candle happens here. Again, breakout candle happens here. Market execution around here. As soon as this candle closes, and you can literally take this buy to the next zone. Literally. And this is, I'm not telling you guys that this has to be your strategy, because the whole idea of tonight is for you to understand support and resistance. But what I am incorporating in this call is that the simple person who decides, you know what, I don't want to complicate myself, can walk away from this call saying, you know what, I'm just going to trade breakout candles from support zones or resistance zones, and I'm going to trade and take my take profit at every single level. That is my message. If you understand my message, please type clear in the chat box. Excellent, excellent. And I am literally breaking it down so simple for you guys. This is simplicity here. Now, all I want you to do for your homework is I want you to draw up support and resistance lines and just follow the trade to see how the market tends to respect every zone, right? This is key for you. And by you following it, you will start to identify how the market does create patterns, right? And the whole idea is that it's going to start to train your brain into seeing what patterns the market start to create, you know, in range, in breakout, how it looks and stuff like that, so that as you get more advanced, you see something like this coming up, and the inexperienced trader said, oh, this is an impulse and correction, so I'm looking for continuation down. But you look at this and say, this looks like a pattern that I have actually seen on a trade that I was studying. It's not giving me a clear flag, right? You see me, I'm going to allow this pattern to finish form, right? I hear XYZ saying that this is an impulse and correction, but the way how this is forming, this looks very familiar because you would have familiarized yourself with identifying patterns on the market, seeing how the market is moved, and you would allow the trade to do what it has to do and tell you the direction it's going to go. Right? This is what I want you to do. Just follow. Just follow it. This is all I want you to do. Take 3 pairs, draw up your support and resistance, and watch how the market tends to respect these zones. That's all I want you to do. Right? I don't want you to focus on entry. I don't want you to focus on stop loss. Nothing. Because we're not at that level yet. When we get there, trust me, it gets better. Right? It gets better, because from here, then once you enter trade, we're going to talk about how to just keep moving your stop loss in profit. Sometimes if you don't want to set a take profit, you can just trail your stop loss every time the market moves. Right? And the beauty about that is that you keep catching a winning trade, right? But you let go of a losing trade. So we will talk about all of that. But all I want you to do right now, guys, because I know you may get excited, you may say, I could actually trade this strategy right now. Don't get too excited. Bear with me, right? No, I just want to show you guys this. I want you guys to look at this pattern. And this is why I want you to study charts. I want you to look at this pattern. I want everybody right now to look at this pattern here, right? Everybody see this from here? So let me draw the box around it, because I need to make my point. Let me just make that clear. 1 second. There we go, right here. So I want you guys to look at this. So we know the zone that we're looking at, right? Look at that. Good. I'm gonna go to another pair. No, look at GA. What do you see? This is why I want you guys to see how the market actually forms patterns. I want you to do your homework and study the market. What do you see here? Doesn't this not look familiar? Let's go back to EU again. So you've been studying EU for the last month, 2 months, and so on, and you've been watching how the market respects zones and the type of patterns that the market tends to create. And you saw this one here. Yes? Right? You may not have been paying full attention to it, but then you were looking at GA and you were deciding whether or not you were going to enter a buy on this trade. And you look at this and say, this looks familiar. This looks like literally a pattern that EU created a couple weeks ago. If you're following me, please type following in the chat box. If you're following me, please type following in the chat box. This is why homework is important. Homework is important because you're training your brain to understand how the market moves. You're training your brain to be able to say, look, the last time I saw this pattern in EU, it continued to sell. Here. Saw this pattern here, looks familiar, it continued to sell. Seeing the same pattern now in GA farming, no look. Yeah. So let's drop GA together. So we're going to do this. We're practicing support and resistance. Now remember, I told you, I want you guys to go to the last downtrend. We're going to go to where the downtrend ended, which would have been here, right? On the 1 hour time frame, you're going to change your candles to the line chart. And someone may ask, Coach, but why the line chart, right? For me, the line chart gives you a clear picture as to what the market is doing. You can see clear support and resistance. It doesn't get any better than this to me, right? That's my preference, right? I don't have to try to sift through wicks and, you know, breakout candles and fake out candles and all these different things that happen in the market. I don't have to do that. I don't have to squint my eyes to see what is actual support and resistance. If I go to the line chart, I can clearly see it. Now look, I picked out the most obvious, which was the bottom, and look at this one. This was the second obvious to me, because just check how the market is just respecting this area, right? Next one is here. Put it around here, right? And that's all you need to do. Follow the market, follow what the line chart is telling you. Next one is here. All right, support, 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 resistance. Just follow the market. I guarantee all you're doing right now is boxing in price. That's it, right? You can do the obvious. If you want to do the in-betweens, you can as well. You can come, you can do this one, support, support, resistance, support, 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 if you want to do the in-betweens. But keep it sweet and simple, right? Keep it sweet and simple. The obvious ones, take them out, identify them, right? And follow the market. Follow the market, right? I don't like this one because I can't see a support in here, so I'm just going to go for the top. You don't have to force it, right? Now I'm going to change it back to candles. And we're going to go back to where we started. Again, I want you guys to just follow the market to see the pattern that the market tends to create. First, when it's changing direction, you can, that's what I call it, a pair study, right? So we name it tonight as a pair study. All you're doing is saying, okay, I want to know, first thing, you need to answer your own questions, right? So rather than being so quick to come and ask the chairman or the leaders and whoever questions, do a peer study. You need to be able to answer your own questions, right? Remember, guys, I told you I've been in this market. This is 3 years. I literally studied this market like a hawk because it had to work for me. There was no ifs nor buts. It had to work for me. There was no choices or comfort zones and beds and jobs to fall back on, right? It had to work for me. You understand? Can you hear it in my voice? Can you feel that? Because that's a problem with a lot of you on this call, you know. Y'all got choices. That's why you ain't rich yet. Let me be real, right? Right? We got a lot of people in Barbados becoming rich from Forex. And you sit here every day saying, oh, that body lucky. Man, he get one this and that million? Nah, he lucky. Oh, no, he was this and he could afford to risk, or he was risking all he, look, foolishness, straight up. You know I like to keep it real. We're keeping it real on this call. You could be rich too, but you playing the backside. Let me be real, right? Right? Who don't like, wait, as I saying, sorry, but I like to be real when it comes to people that are just playing the backside. Yes, I am not sorry. Great. Tell them, Tammy. Listen, you can become rich from the same thing that made the other 8 people rich last year. Ask yourself, what is the difference between you and the person that became rich last year? If you listen to all of their stories, listen to our stories. When we get how we do testimonials and things in front of the room, we just don't be saying it to just get praise from you guys, you know. Right? I don't want you to be out there thinking, she and that story again. Because negative people, notice, negative people, this usually end up being unproductive week. They're not productive because their job is to sit down and criticize every single thing that they see. They are looking for the negatives and the little things they notice. If your shoe is obzocky, they see it. That is what negative people do. When you come into a place and you come here to learn and you know that this has to work for you, you don't see negative. You see patterns. You sit down and you tell yourself, what do all of these people who are winning have in common? Wait, this body that is a seven-figure earner said, you know, it had to work for him. He had no choice. This other person said, well, you know, I had a mom who was in hospital. It had to work for them. This other person said, you know, I was in so much debt. I had no other choice. It had to work for them. And you're sitting down telling yourself, I want to become rich. But how? The answer is there for you. It is a pattern. They took comfort out of their life. There was no more comfort. When you remove comfort, you begin to win. The problem with you guys on this call, we got 73 people on the call and they're keeping it real with you, right? I'm keeping it real with you. The reason why a lot of you ain't rich and you've been 3, 2, and 1 year and still in your first 30 days in this organization, you're making the money, is because you got excuses. It's because you're comfortable, you got something to fall back on. That job that you just claim that you hate, buddy, you falling back on it. You can't hate it bad enough. I'm telling you. Let me keep it real. All right? I'm telling you. So when I tell you guys, when you come away from this call, go and drop the charts and actually follow the behavior of the charts. Buddy, my eyes could be red. I could be getting sore throat. I could be getting cold sweats. I'm looking at this chart. There's no excuse. I could got a cold. I ain't feeling it today. You know, I come home, I tired, I beat. You know, something new come out. Power last episode come out. I really don't give two hoops. I get it on the charts though, because at the end of the day, when I make my 7 figures next year, and everybody posting me saying that is 1.5 this, and that is 2.5 that, and that is 9.5 this, I could sit down, cock up my foot, and watch all of the ghosts and Jamie and Tommy and whoever else wanted to be watching, right? You know why? Because my bills paid, I could sleep comfortable, my children good, I debt free, I get everything that I want. I ain't gonna see that idiot that I don't like at work no more. I could tell my boss, carry ass. Let me be real. Let me be real. Straight up. So let me follow this thing. If you think that I'm being real, type real in the chat right now. For real. Like type real in the chat right now. It's not time for the games. We got to make 2020. We're in next year, fam. I hear a lot of y'all saying, listen, man, I ain't getting this thing. You ain't want to get this thing. Trust me, it got to happen this year. If you tell yourself it can happen this year, trust me, it can happen. But it comes from within. Assertive talk. You need to be assertive. It can happen this year. So there we go, right? First thing you need to ask yourself. Don't ask Dennis. Don't ask Tammy. Don't ask Coach. Coach, how do I know the trend is turning around? What do I look for? Look on the chart. Trust me. Follow the downtrend here. You'll be able to see, wait, when the trend turning around, it is kind of forms something that looks familiar. Wait, this look like a head and shoulder pattern. Look at this. This is an inverted head and shoulder pattern. This is left shoulder, right. This is the head, and this is the right shoulder here. Boom, market breakout. Right? Look at it. Just picture this right now, right? We're going to move away from this chart. Everybody watching this, I want to make sure that you guys see this. Yes? Everybody see this, right? Just type yes if you see what it is that I just showed you. Market came down, it ranged, broke out, retest, and then broke out. So you see the left shoulder, the head, right shoulder, boom, market took off, right? Good. gotta spell out these things to people. Downtrend, market range. Hello. Wait, y'all seeing this thing? I could go off the call now. Cause you know, I've been teaching people for a long time, and I feel like now that everybody that I've been teaching should be 7-figure earners. Why? Because we just teach the same thing over and over. And yet you guys will still come here every single day looking for that miracle, not knowing you already got it. You just need to use it. Good. I'm on fire tonight. I know. It's happening when you got a lot of passion, right? You got a lot of passion and you just want people to do well. And just take the opportunity for granted. Sometimes it's be a little frustrating. But let me look at it. This is AU. This is this week, right? GA formed that pattern since November. Listen, let me look back at the chart again. When did GA form that pattern? November, December. Look at it. This is how the market range. This is how it broke out and went to the next level, right? Respecting support and resistance, and then it went up in the air. You came away tonight with a nugget knowing that this is what an inverted head and shoulders look like. It comes in various forms and shapes. We're going to go through them. When the market is changing the trend, it creates a head and shoulder pattern. Whether you notice it or not, it does. That was every since 27th of December. So if you do a peer study and you come here now and you actually saw AU this week, right? You go to AU, just move this. You look at this. This look familiar. This look like what the market did to GA back in December. That means that the market is going to break out of this zone and it's going to continue up. Why? Because it's changing the trend, downtrend, range, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, boom. That's AU. I ain't done yet. NZDUSD, straight. We're removing everything. I ain't drawing out no more support and resistance. Why? Because I just did 2 pairs and y'all should have it. I hope that you took your notes. I hope you were paying attention. Good. NZDUSD was in a downtrend all of this time. Range here. This was this week. Look at it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. What do you think the market is going to do now? What do you think the market is going to do now? Yeah? Everybody following me? Y'all seeing this thing? Because it don't make any sense if I talking to myself. Hello? Yes, everybody following. Good. I just want to make sure that y'all ain't hearing me, right? Lovely. So, NZDUSD. Okay, let's look. Any more pairs that set up later this week? Wait, look at EJ. Wow. Looks familiar, right? Downtrend. All of this was a downtrend. Came here, range. So once I see all this range, I can look left to see if I see a left shoulder. There's my left shoulder. Here is my head. This is my right shoulder. That means that the market changing the trend is going into an uptrend. Whoa, coach taught me something tonight. If I taught you something tonight, type nuggets on the chat box. Straight. If I taught you something tonight, type nuggets in the chat box. Lovely. See, 3 pairs, same thing. So here is the homework. We're gonna do it again. Yes. So we're gonna do let's do a favorite pair. Let's do gold. I'm gonna do this again. This is the homework for this week. Denise, Tammy, the leaders in here, if you got people on this call, make sure that when you ask them to show homework, they should at least be able to show 3 pairs that they have drawn support and resistance, right? They should be able to show you how the market respect right? And they should be able to tell you how they have watched the market move from the ending of a downtrend, which would be the beginning of an uptrend, right up to the top, right? You guys should do this. Look, I got my team doing this every night. Every night they have to remove their drawing tools. So if you draw this up last night, well, tonight is a fresh page again, right? And you need to train your mind to keep seeing this because it helps you become better. So let's do this. That was a downtrend, so it's starting here, right? Good. First thing I'm gonna do, right? Tell me in the chat, what is the first thing I'm going to do? What's the first thing I'm doing? Cafe and sale line chart. What's the first thing I'm doing? All right, we at the end of the downtrend already. What's the first thing I'm doing? Before we draw support, y'all listening? Nisha sale line chart. John said change the line chart. I need y'all to pay attention, huh? Because next week I'm not doing support and resistance. We're moving on. So pay attention. This is 2 weeks I've been doing this. Change to a line chart. If you're making notes, too bad for you. We'll see you at the top. Right? So obvious ones, right? It coming here. First one they're doing is right here. Right? The line chart. Second one I'm doing is right here. Right? Next one I'm doing is here. This is gold. This is your favorite pair. So I hope I got people attention. Right? I do this one because we got support here, resistance, 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 resistance. Right? You could come further if you want. You can actually come here. Who is drawing up my screen? Please remove that blue thing. You shouldn't be drawing up my screen, man. You should be paying attention. Yeah? No. This one's a little tricky, but it will make sense. Right? Just go with the mountain tops. That's all you need to do. If it gets tricky like this because gold just went on an extended uptrend, go with the mountain tops. Where you see the mountain tops, you take it. Right? If it's too tricky, just go with the mountain tops. Mountain tops, right? And then over here, now we could get a bit of support equals resistance around here. Yes, I think that I have majority. Right. Change back my candles, change back to my candles. They're going back to where I've started back in November. You watch the market. Want you guys to follow, look and see that the candles are respecting your zones. So familiar too. I mean, the pattern is a little different, but still looks the same like what GA would have formed. We got some consolidation here. We got a left shoulder here, some consolidation. Market came back up here and then it took off. I don't know about y'all, but I love patterns. Yes. Good. And all you're gonna do is just follow the trade. Look and see how extended, because this, you should say, this is how an extended uptrend looks like. This is what you call a strong uptrend, right? There's healthy, there's strong, and there's weak. When the uptrend is weak, it has deep pullbacks, like deep. When the uptrend is strong, it has little pullbacks. So you see these small little pullbacks here, and then it continues to take off. This is a very strong uptrend. So you guys learned something today. Yes. So when it's strong, it has little pullbacks. Hope you guys are making notes. Right? When it's weak, it has deep pullbacks. Right? Good. So you should be able to look and see how the market respects. Right? And we're going to present day. This was gold this week. Right? This was gold. So as I say, right? Now, if you were trading, no, we didn't get this one. That's fine. That's fine. Right? No. If you were trading breakout candles, again, market came here, it broke out. You could have caught by doing this, because I know some of you guys saw hard there is we tell you guys not to trade gold until you know, at least know how to trade other markets and you know what to expect. But given that some of you guys are hard there is, we will show you anyway so that you can go ahead and trade gold tomorrow. Yes. So breakout candle, and the market did that. Net zone. Breakout candle, and the market did that. Net zone. Yeah. It's just showing you guys how sometimes simplicity can work. You don't need all of the you know, when I see all the pretty things on the chart, I usually tell my team that they're doing paintings, and I start to call national heroes like Arrow Barrow and all sorts of different people, because I see so many things on the chart. And I ask my team, and I ask people even outside of my team, do you understand what is on your chart? People, and do any of you, I know there are persons on this call right now that have one of those charts where there are so many different indicators, you don't even understand what is on there. You got this line and that line and this indicator and this thing at the bottom. You got the MACD, the RSI, the stochastic, the this, the that, and you don't understand how it's truly works. What are you using it? Is the truth, right? Is the truth. Guys, you got so many different things on the chart. You can't even see the chart itself straight. Like literally. You guys come and show me some charts and maybe squinting to see candles because I can't see none. All they're seeing is bare lines and yellow, red, blue, purple, black, all sorts of different colors, and they're trying to struggle to see what is you telling me, coach. But this here I look like an uptrend and can't see the candles, so I don't know what uptrend you're showing me. Foolishness. Right? I love that being real and making the call a little exciting. They don't want to have a boring call and they come here and just show you guys how to draw a chart and then tell you, thanks for joining me tonight. Right? Have a good night and take care. No, make it fun. Somebody told me to go back here and follow the uptrend. So this was a downtrend here. You want to see the pattern that the trade created before it changed the trend. Is the same pattern that GA and NU and AU and EJ created. They're all the same, you know. But like I said, they will come in different shapes and forms. What you need to do for your homework is to train your mind to see how the market moves, the different forms of the inverted head and shoulders, you know, the way how the market has moved from zone to zone. Is it strong? Is it weak? You'll be able to do that. But only you can. I can't do that for you. Tammy can't do that for you. Stevenson Lindar can't do that for you. We could tell you what to look for in a trade, but you need to study market behavior. You don't need a course to study market behavior, buddy. You just need to drop the charts, pay attention, make some notes, drop the charts, and actually do your own work. The problem with a lot of you is that a lot of you are delegators. You know, when you make that strong point and everybody inside the, you know, a sharp and lawyers can sound for it and saying just, woo, yeah, that it required that. A lot of you guys are delegators. Coach, what do you mean by that? You don't like to do your own work. So you delegate it to somebody else to answer the question and do the work for you. Coach, don't do them so. Yeah, it's you. You on this call. Delegators. Let me be real. Danny said, when the lines are drawn, do you have to keep watching for the breakout? If I move away, I can miss it. We can get to that, but you can actually start to set alerts, right? I prefer an alert. So you can set an alert above the zone, right? And once the alert goes off, it's your duty then to go back and look at the chart to make sure it's actually a solid body candle breaking that zone and not a wick. You see, the problem with some people too is that they get the alert and they say, oh shoot, go selling, let me enter myself. No, you don't need to rush. Yeah, you don't need to rush and run behind the market. The market will always set up for you. If it don't set up today, it will set up tomorrow. Yes? Yeah? Because a lot of you guys that have been rushing behind the market, this is 2 years later that you've been trading and you're still in your first 30 days in IM. Do you know what I mean by that? Ooh, coach, don't do something like that. Yeah, you're in your first 30 days. You know why? Because you're still taking the same notes that the person that just joined, right? 2 years you've been here and you're still taking the same notes that the beginner that just joined no taking. I mean that you don't grow. Where's the growth? You shouldn't be still taking those notes. You should be past that stage. Straight up. Right? So guys, right? No more motivational talk. We're not that strong out here. But what I am saying to you, right, the essence of this call, I want you to come away from this call knowing that you can trade zone to zone. Trading can be simple, right? I've started off by just showing you simple support and resistance, right? You can wait for a breakout candle, right? You could wait for a breakout candle and you could trade from that zone to the next zone, right? It can be simple. Like I said, some of you may come away from this call thinking, you know what, I don't want to learn anything else. I'm just going to trade the breakout of that zone, and that's okay. That's great, actually. You know, if you think that works for you, that's fantastic. You're one step ahead of that than most of the persons on this call. But next week, guys, we'll be doing trend lines, right? So we're now going to start to analyze the trend of the market, right? So we're going to analyze the trend, and it is beautiful when you can enter a trade that is at a support or resistance level and also touching a trend line. Yep, it's beautiful, right? So come back next week and we're going to be doing trend lines. As I say, choose 3 pairs this week, focus on them. Do your peer studies. We're calling it peer studies, yes? So when somebody asks you what you're home doing, girl, come out, surf right on a boat. Girl, we going to put this cruise. Nah, I'm home doing my peer studies. Yeah? In a surf rat. Right? Good. So I want you guys to choose 3 pairs, and I want you to actually go through the behavior of the trades between zones, right? I want you to go through the behavior of the pairs between zones so that you can train your mind to see how the market actually behaves, how the market creates patterns. You know, the pattern it creates when it's changing a trend. I want you guys to start to see those things. I want you to see how you can have a breakout candle, right, and trade from that zone to the next zone. I want you to be able to see how simple trading can be, right? I got some questions here. Money is asking, how far back should you go to monitor the pairs? So like I said, you go to the ending of the last downtrend, which should be the beginning of the last uptrend. So you basically follow that uptrend up. So you're going to the previous downtrend, the ending of it, when the market is actually changing direction. That's what I want you to do. Next question is, no joining from Nashville. Is this recorded? Yes, it is. It is definitely. Right? So thank you so much, guys. I hope that this call was useful. I hope you came away with some notes. You came away with nuggets, right? I hope that I was able to show you how to draw support and resistance easy, like cake, right? And you now know what to go away and do. How do I access it? Access the charts, trading view, right? So this same time, next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, let's hit the charts. Have a pickful week. Coach Kara was in the house. Thank you so much. Take care and have a beautiful night.